Hello everyone, welcome back to Clarity Tarot. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Bri, and these are going to be your weekly messages for the week of Monday, July 19th to Sunday, July 25th. So we have a very busy and a very crazy week ahead of us leading up to a full moon in Aquarius. So I felt that it would be most effective and most helpful to do a little reading for each of the 12 signs. So be sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising sign to see what the most important life, love, and advice messages are for you. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. Before we start, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you never miss any of my videos. Two exciting announcements. Number one, my private readings are open, so be sure to go check that out on my new website, www.claritytarotreadings.com. And my 4-week deep healing summer webinar still has spots available, so be sure to check the info for that out down below in the description box as well. All right, guys, so let's go ahead, let's jump in and let's see what the most important messages are for us this week. Now, I want to start off with an overview for us, so that way we can all see what the collective energy is, so you know what everyone is going through, what we're all up against, okay? So like I said, this Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are in the world, we're having a full moon in the sign of Aquarius. So I went ahead and I took out the cards from the Moonology deck that represent the energy that we're going to be experiencing this weekend. So the first card I took out was this Aquarius card, and this card says, show the world the real you. So let's kind of talk about that for a second. Now, what is a full moon? A full moon is when something comes to a completion point and we get to see the energy for what it really is. It illuminates things, it brings light to things. And with this being in Aquarius, the sign of our dreams and our future and our goals and of abundance, essentially, this full moon can be showing you where you are in terms of just that, your dreams, your goals, and your plans for the future. And so I feel like this is going to be a very telling week for those of you who have been trying to work on something, and that can be telling in a good way or telling in a bad way. This can be a really good wake-up call as to where you really are, or it could be, you know, showing you how well you've done. So it really can go either way, and it really just depends on the goals and the plans and the dreams that you made for yourself at the beginning of this year and late last year. You can kind of see where you're standing now. So I took out the two other cards that also represented this full moon, and we have surrender to the divine and hold your vision. So it's going to be different for everyone, but I do feel that it is very important that wherever you stand, whether you're in a good place or in a bad place, it's important that you stay true to yourself and stay true to your dreams and your goals and your plans for yourself. Don't be swayed by the opinions of other people or what other people think you should do or what other people tell you to do, or if something kind of seems like it's a good opportunity, but you've never even thought about it and it's not something that you really want. Don't feel pressured to start something or jump into something or don't throw away your current dreams or your current situation just because you maybe don't have the results that you want, okay? Again, this is a fixed moon, so Aquarius can be a bit stubborn about what it wants, and that is totally okay, okay? What I see playing out for a lot of people is maybe you've been working on a business, maybe you've been working on a side hustle, maybe you've been working on a passion project, maybe you've been trying to create a certain lifestyle for yourself, and perhaps it may or may not really be going the way that you hoped, the way that you desired. You might not have the results you want. You might not have the, you know, gains that you want. You might not have all the clients you want or be making the money that you want, okay? This full moon is going to show you exactly where you really are. And that could be a little bit difficult to face, or maybe it's going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm doing really good, okay? Either way, take this as like your karmic report card, okay? And even if you don't necessarily have the grade that you want, you can always improve on it, right? Whatever you see your life looking like right now, it doesn't have to always look like that, okay? It can change, it can get better. You can put in the work, okay? And right now, as I'm filming this video, you might feel fired up, you might feel ready, right? Because right now we are in a first quarter moon. So you might want to take action on something, and that is totally okay to do. So I don't want anyone to feel bad or down or discouraged if your life doesn't look like the way that you're dreaming and envisioning it, okay? That doesn't mean that it's never going to come to pass. It just might not be happening right now, and that's okay, okay? So you're getting an opportunity now to really see where you're really at. And I feel like Aquarius is a very detached sign. I think that it looks at things very logically. And I feel that that's a very wise way to look at your scenario without the emotions, because sometimes we can be so emotionally attached to something that we don't use our logic, and it can put us in scenarios and situations that we don't want to be in. And sometimes we need to let go of our emotions for a second to really look at something logically, so that way we can be a little bit more objective and fix what needs to be fixed. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling is coming up for everyone, is that in some way, shape, or form in your life, you're going to be getting an illumination, a new perspective on your scenario and on your situation and the reality of what it really is. And you can then take that information that you're getting, that perspective and that clarity that you're getting, to decide whether or not you're in alignment with your dreams. And if you're not, you'll know exactly what you need to do or change or let go of to be more in alignment, okay? And if you are in alignment with your goals, plans, and dreams, but maybe you're not seeing the gains and the results that you want, then this full moon is saying, stay the course. Stay the course. Hold your vision, okay? And one other point I want to make here before I start to jump into the information for all of the 12 signs is that you have to be yourself. You have to be authentic. Aquarius is very much so an individualistic sign, and it doesn't like to really fit into the group or fit into the box, and most times it just naturally doesn't fit into the group and fit into the box. And in a time like this, being different and being weird and standing out is actually a superpower. So I really recommend and encourage those of you who are different, who are weird, who have a different perspective on something, who see the world differently and want to help the world and make the world a better place. It is time to step up and be you and let your freak flag fly. Even if your thoughts or your beliefs or your projects or your plans or your dreams or your goals are unconventional and different. That is completely okay. I mean, for God's sake, we are in a 5-year all about change, and you can be you, okay? So I want to encourage those of you to be yourself. You're never going to get where you want to go in life trying to be like other people and trying to blend in and mold in. You were not meant to do that. You were meant to be different. You're meant to be weird, and that actually is your superpower. All right, so let's go ahead and let's hop into the reading for all 12 signs. So I am going to be doing timestamps, and they will be down below either in the description box or the comment box. All right, so let's go ahead and let's hop into the reading for Aries, okay? So Aries, your overall card for the week, Aries, is the Two of Pentacles, okay? So like I was talking about in the overall Aries, I mean, you likely are someone who already naturally marches to the beat of your own drum. You are likely someone who is naturally a leader. You probably stand out from the crowd anyways. But this week with the Two of Pentacles, I feel like the advice here is to find the balance between being your true, unique, awesome, amazing self and whatever it is that you're trying to merge with. So this can work out in many different ways. So this could be in your relationship. Maybe this week you and your partner really need to find a middle ground. You maybe have an idea or a way how you think relationships should go, and they could have an idea and a way that they think relationships should go. And instead of having a my way or the highway type of attitude this week, Aries, see if you can find some sort of middle ground. So a lot of times we could want to have things our own way, right? Because Aries is the leader, Aries is the inventor, Aries is the initiator. We know the best way to do things, or so we think we do. And that might be true, but we also have to consider the emotions of other people and the lives of other people and try to find some sort of middle ground. So you don't have to give up your beliefs, your values, your wants, your dreams, right? You don't have to compromise. You don't have to hide, but you will have to kind of find a middle point, right? It can't always be your way or no way. Okay, so that's what I see coming up for Aries this week. So when it comes to relationships, whether that's romantic relationships, friendships, business partnerships, clients, try to compromise, try to find the middle ground. Know what you want, but listen to what the other person wants and see if you can find the middle point where both of your needs can be met and maybe everyone has to give up a little bit, okay? Now, in love, Aries, we have the Judgment card. So this could definitely have to do with a romantic relationship here, this compromise, or this theme of compromise may also be showing up in your romantic relationships as well. But I feel that this week you're having to make a decision about a relationship. And it feels like whether or not you can compromise with someone. So it feels like you and someone may be on two different pages or have two different ideas or two different wants or, you know, different ways of seeing things. And I feel that this week you're going to have to find the middle point, okay? Find the middle point between that. And if you can't find the middle point, if you can't find the middle ground, then there may be a chance that this relationship may need to be let go or put on pause for a moment until each party can kind of give up a little bit, because I do feel that there might be a difference of opinion or different desires or different values, and it feels like both parties are pretty set in their ways here. So it's either compromise or let it go. Okay? Now, let's see what your advice card is. We have bring love into the situation. So yes, I am definitely getting the feeling from this reading, Aries, that you are all logic, you are no BS, you are a straight shooter right now, you're telling it like it is, and that's great. It's great to be direct, and it's great to know what you want. But I feel like you're needing to pair that with a little bit of compassion for other people and a little bit more understanding of how your directness and your forwardness affects other people and how it makes other people feel. So don't just bulldoze through people this week. Actually give them a chance to listen and formulate a response and think. Don't expect that just because you're a straight shooter that everyone else is going to be a straight shooter as well. Okay? All right, Aries, so that's what I have for you this week. I hope that this message helped you, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, now let's jump into Taurus. But before I do that, let me grab my charger, because I just realized that my computer was not on the charger. There we go. Okay, now Taurus. All right, so Taurus, let's see what your overall energy is for the week. We've got the 10 of Swords here, okay? So something is definitely, without a doubt, coming to its completion point, and that makes sense, right? With the full moon at the end of the week, it looks like something in your life is time for it to come to an end, okay? And I feel that this is going to come to you through some sort of illumination that the full moon's going to bring to you. So it's not necessarily, like, I don't feel like it's like the end of a relationship or the end of a job per se, but it's more of the understanding that something that you're doing is just not going to work for you anymore. Something that you're doing or someone that you're around or something that you're involved with, it is in direct opposition with the type of life that you want to live. So you maybe have an idea of how you want your life to go, an idea of how you want your life to be and look like. Maybe you want more freedom, more fun, more flexibility in your life. Yet you have a job where you're working 70, 80 hours per week. So freedom and working 70, 80 hours per week, they are in a complete conflict of one another. And it doesn't feel like you're leaving the job or leaving the situation or leaving the person, you know, immediately. But I do think you get the understanding that what you're doing in some way, shape, or form is not going to be sustainable, or it's not going to give you what you really want, okay? So be aware that that's coming in, and it doesn't feel like you're going to be surprised by this. I think you've always known that whatever you're doing wasn't going to work and it wasn't going to pan out long term, but perhaps you thought you had more time, right? Perhaps you thought, well, I can milk it for a little bit more, maybe a few more years, but you might be finding out that that is not the case and that is not an option for you. So do be prepared for that insight to come in, okay? Now let's look at your love life for the week. We have the Page of Cups. So I do feel like your love life or your romantic relationships will be a source of relief for you this week. So things might be a little heavy on the work and career or business or finance front in life, but it does feel like your relationships are going to be budding. Okay, so this might be a new relationship. It could be a water sign person. It could be a Cancer person, a Scorpio person, or a Pisces person, or someone that has this as like their moon sign or their Venus sign. Someone who I feel kind of brings out a bit of your childlike nature. And I feel like it's well welcomed at this time because you do have such heavy and intense energy, whereas before you maybe were like, oh, I don't have time for that, you know, but now you may be seeing the value in having a relationship or having someone on your corner who can kind of soften you up a little bit. So that could be your reprieve this week, okay? So your card is you're very close to achieving your goal. So I do feel, Taurus, that you've been putting in the work and you've been putting in the effort, you've been putting in the energy to get what you want in your life, but it feels like you have one little tweak to make that's going to really get you to your goal. And it feels like this is a step that you have to make that you either weren't anticipating on making so soon, or you didn't think would happen so quickly and abruptly, but it's like the one thing that's holding you back. So with you being a fixed energy, I don't foresee you, you know, just completely cutting this out and ending this thing right away, but I think you will get more clarity by the end of the week of what really needs to be done here, okay? But just know that once you get that thing out of your life, you are on easy street, okay? All right, so hopefully this helped, Taurus, and I will see you in the next video. All right, so Gemini, let's see what your overall energy is for the week. So we've got the Five of Swords here. So it does feel like there is going to be some sort of conflict in your life this week. And it definitely feels like this is a difference of opinion with someone. It could be a romantic partner, but it also could be an employer. It definitely feels like some sort of commitment that you have made is going to be having some sort of conflict. So there may be something that happening that you did not foresee happening, and it is going to cause you a little bit of distress. You might have to make a decision this week that you weren't really wanting to make or hadn't really put enough energy and thought and effort into thinking about, that's going to come up now. And this can be very frustrating, okay? It feels very frustrating. It feels very distressing, but it's nonetheless something that you're going to have to deal with, okay? So just be prepared for that you may have a difference of opinion or values or beliefs with a very important person in your life. Again, it could be romantic, could be a business partner, okay, I am feeling that, or it could be with an employer, someone that you had a contract with, okay? I also would say don't sign any contracts this week. Don't make any commitments this week until you feel 100% clear and that you've talked it over with your partner and that your partner thinks it's a good idea. Your partner's on board with too, or your friends or your family think it's a good idea. Don't feel pressured to make a decision that you're not ready to make or that doesn't feel right in your soul, because then you're really going to feel like this. If your head and your heart and your soul aren't on the same page, then you're really not going to feel good in the long run, okay? So it's worth taking a little bit of time to make sure that this is the right decision for you, okay? So in your love life, we have the Four of Cups here. So yes, this definitely could be in a relationship, particularly with those Geminis who are married. You and your marriage partner might just see things very differently, have a difference of opinion, have a different idea about how something should go or how something should work. And I do feel like you both will need a little bit of time to sit with yourselves and to sit with your emotions, to really suss out how you feel. So I feel like you might have a bit of a heated conversation or a heated debate with someone, and don't make a decision based upon that initial rage or anger or conflict. Take a second to sit down and think about it and cool off before you make a decision or say something that you're going to regret, that you can't take back. Okay, so just be very, very, very careful and very cautious, especially when it comes to romantic relationships or people that you care about. Don't say something that you can't turn back on, or make a commitment that you can't turn back on. Okay. All right, your card is a time to give rather than take, okay? So it feels like whatever you're going into, whatever decision you're having to make or contract you're having to sign, it's a lot less about what you can get out of this, and it's more about how you can contribute. So make sure that whatever you're starting or beginning or going into, that it's something that really uses your unique skills and talents that you would be happy to give and happy to use, right? Don't do things just because someone else wants you to do them, or it's maybe a good, lucrative opportunity, because in the end, if you're not really happy with what you're doing, then that's going to really affect your energy, and it's gonna affect the way you show up in the world and the energy that you give off. You're not gonna be giving off the best energy, okay? So just be very wary with what you commit yourself to, what you say to people, and especially how you talk to your partner. Be very, very, very careful. Okay? All right, so I hope that helped you. I hope that gave you lots of clarity and lots of insight for the week. Okay, let's do Cancer. All right, so Cancer, your overall energy for the week, we've got the Judgment card. So this is big. It definitely feels like you are overcoming some huge, big chapter of your life. So congratulations, okay? It feels like you've really been putting in the work and it's paying off. So you are one of the signs that I feel this full moon is illuminating to you how good of a job you've been doing. So congratulations, pat yourself on the back. This is very exciting. It feels like you have freed yourself or liberated yourself from something or some situation, and I feel that you just need to enjoy this week. Just enjoy this week and just enjoy this time. If the energy is good, just revel in it while it's good. Don't start thinking about, well, how long is this going to last and what if this ends? Just enjoy the moment for whatever it is currently bringing you, okay? So wonderful, wonderful, very good energy. you know, it feels like you've left a challenging scenario in the past, and it may have been very difficult to walk away from it and to heal from it. But I think what you're learning is that it's not that bad. If you just walk through the darkness, you're always going to come out on the other side, right? The sun always comes out. And I feel like you've been very persistent and you've been very faithful, and it's really working out in your benefit. So if it's not actual abundance that you're getting, which may happen to you, it feels like a lot of spiritual abundance and spiritual wisdom. So that's very exciting, Cancer. Let's look at your love life. We have the Two of Wands here. So I feel like in your love life, you have a choice. You have decisions. You have options. You can go down any pathway that you want, and there's no right or wrong way. I am feeling that for some Cancer out there, you maybe have recently left a very challenging relationship. You maybe have finally healed from a relationship. It may have been a challenging relationship, a toxic relationship, an abusive relationship, or someone who you were just not compatible with, and it took you a long time to really move on and heal and see the point and see what the lesson was there. But I feel in a way it's like you kind of realize now that you dodged a bullet, right? It was really hard to get up and leave, but then you realize, oh, my life is so much better without that person, without that relationship, and I can move on and I can do what I want. I can be free. I can sit in this peace. I can sit in this, newfound freedom that I have, or I can pursue another relationship. So, it's really up to you what you want to do. It just depends on where you see yourself, right? What is your dream? What is your goal? Go for that. Okay? Let's see what your advice card is. We have Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back. I love that this card came out for you. Really don't. The past is just that. It's the past. And the intention of it was to teach you things so that way you could grow and mature and have the relationship that you really want. So do not let the past stop you from achieving your future, okay? So this was a beautiful message, Cancer. I hope that it helped you, and I hope that you are ready for an excellent week, and I'll see you guys in the next reading, okay? All right, so Leo. Okay, so Leo, your overall energy, we have the Four of Pentacles. So your responsibilities may be having you feeling pretty limited and pretty restricted this week. It feels like you have some real world responsibilities to attend to, and you may want to do the exact opposite. You may want to just relax and have fun and go out and have a drink, but life is saying, no, 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 no. We have things to do. So Leo, just be prepared that this is a week where you're going to be busy, where you're going to have things you have to tend to. And that's okay, right? That is a part of life. You will get through this week. So my advice is to face your problems and face your responsibilities head on, get them done, and then you can just move on, okay? Running away from your problems or acting like they're not happening or being in denial is not going to help you this week, okay? So you're going to have to fight against that urge to just relax and have fun and take time off and play with your kids. that is not what this week is about, okay? There will come a time for that very soon. We are almost, there. We are almost in Leo season very, very, very soon. But you do more, towards the beginning of the week, you might have some things that you need to take care of, okay? So just be aware, be prepared, okay? Yeah, let's look at love. Okay, let's look at love. We have the Four of Swords. So it feels to me that love is going to have to take a back seat this week. Love in your relationship is just not the priority right now. And I feel that this is very timely. So by the time that your season rolls around, which is very soon, right around the corner, that your responsibilities are taken care of, okay? But I do feel like you need to delay the romance and the parties and the relaxation for just a moment while you handle those things. So this is just 1 week, right? It's not the end of the world. Don't start thinking doom and gloom just because you might have a challenging scenario pop up this week, right? I think what's going to be illuminated for you is how you maybe have been working directly against your dream life, that you may have created responsibilities and roles and duties for yourself that are not in alignment with who you really want to be. And so you're going to have to really take some time to think about that and to really think about if you want to continue on with what you're doing, or if it's time to start prioritizing fun and love and excitement into your life, okay? So let's look at your advice card. We have faith in your dreams. So I definitely know for a fact, Leo, that you do have big dreams, and maybe life has kind of, or a route that you've taken in life is, I've got to sacrifice for a bit and then everything's going to get good later. And so maybe you've put yourself into commitments thinking, well, this is just the route I have to take. I have to do, the corporate 9-to-5 job and get the husband and the kids and, the white picket fence, and you may be realizing that the reality of that is it's a big responsibility, and maybe you want to have a more lighthearted, carefree life. That lighthearted, carefree life is still possible, but you may have to do some rearranging, okay? So don't give up on what you want, but you're really going to have to look at your life and say, is what I'm doing right now sustainable, and is it going to ultimately get me where I want to go? And the answer to that is going to help you to make adjustments to either your actual life or your mindset, okay? So I hope that that message has helped you, and I hope that you have the best possible week that you can, okay? All right, so let's do Virgo now. Okay, so Virgo, your overall energy for the week. We have the Tower card, okay? Dun, dun, dun. Now, Virgo, I feel like things in your life are going to be shaken up this week, okay? But whatever is being shaken up, whatever is changing, whatever is coming up for you, whatever structures are falling down, it's happening for the highest good of all. So don't take it as a personal attack, because it's not a personal attack. It has nothing to do with, you. So don't play the victim, okay? Definitely don't play the victim. That's not going to help nor change the situation. be empowered, okay? Be empowered and know that things change, right? Things change, life changes, and it's not a personal attack on you, okay? But do expect that something in your life that you thought was stable, that you thought was always going to be there, that you had just kind of been relying on, might be coming to a close, might be coming to an end. And I feel like you have an idea about this. I don't think it's going to be a complete shock, but it also could be. It also could be a shock here with the tower. I mean, look at the imagery on the card, okay? But again, like I said, if something is coming to an end or coming to a close, let it go. Let it go. The faster you just let the chips fall, let the cards fall where they are, the quicker you can start picking back up again, okay? Let's look at your love life here. We've got the Three of Swords. So this definitely could be a relationship that is coming to a close or coming to an end, or there's going to be some sort of challenging scenario with your whole life might be shaken up this week, but it could be happening to kind of get you out of your complacency, to get you out of your stagnancy, okay? So just keep that in mind, especially if you know that you've been kind of just coasting and not really being super proactive in your life. If you've been kind of more hermit mode, staying behind the scenes and not really putting yourself out there and, you know, being your real self, right, that Aquarius is demanding from us, then know that that is gonna kind of happen. So you can either jump or you can be pushed. And it definitely looks like this is a push type of energy. So don't freak out, just be aware and start preparing yourself. Really start looking at your life and analyzing your life and seeing, how can I be better? What can I do? How can I be more proactive in my life? How can I show up more for myself? How can I show up more in my life? What do I need and what do I need to do to get that? Do not try to shift the blame on to the other people around you. This really is about looking at you and looking at what you can do and how you can make your own life better. Like I talked about in my reading that I recently did, I titled it, Be Your Own Hero. This definitely is the week to be your own hero, Virgo, okay? So let's see what your advice card is. We have, what do you need to release? Okay, so this could be people. It definitely could be people. And there could be people leaving your life, or you may need to decide to push someone out of your life. Okay, so I definitely can see that. But to me, really what I'm getting from this card is it feels like there's some sort of behavior that you need to release. You know, it feels to me that you maybe have been kind of in a rut, doing the same things over and over again, expecting to get a different result. And I feel like it is time to shake things up, to change things up. And that is going to be what really changes things for you, is empowering yourself. You know, if you have felt disempowered, well, give yourself that power. Be your own hero. Step up and be the leader in your life, and don't depend on other people to provide things for you that you can actually give yourself, okay? So I really hope that message helps you, Virgo, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, Libra. Okay, so Libra, let's see what your overall energy is for the week. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. This is amazing, Libra. So it looks to me that you have been really doing the work, okay? You've had your eye on the prize. You've been working very, very hard, and I feel like your hard work is paying off, and that's what's being illuminated for you this week. You're really seeing, okay, wow, that was all worth it. It may have been a crazy ride, it maybe has been a crazy journey, but I've been making the right decisions, I've been making the right choices, I've been doing the right things, and it's really paying off. So this definitely could be like real physical, tangible abundance in your life, but it also could be like a new addition to your life in some way, shape, or form. You know, you could be pregnant. It's very possible for some Libras out there, but it just feels like completion and wholeness and being able to have whatever you want. If you want something, then you can have it. And I think that's a good feeling. And you might not necessarily acquire anything this week, but knowing that you could if you wanted to, I think really gives you a good feeling. So this is amazing. This is really incredible. Now, your love card this week, we have the Two of Cups. So this is also really good. So yes, I'm definitely feeling that some Libras could be pregnant or getting pregnant this week. What is that all about, Libra? But Two of Cups, relationships look really good. I feel like you've made some good compromises. You've made some good deals. You've made some good decisions, and they're really paying off. It really feels like your relationships are quite harmonious, or an investment that you've made in, it feels more like a person is really paying off, okay? And you're really getting what you wanted, what you really wanted. It's really coming together. So this is very exciting. Definitely seems like a time for Libra to enjoy themselves, okay? Enjoy themselves, to be in good company, and to really, if not start a relationship, to renew the passion and energy in the relationship that you have, to really reconnect with your partner on a deeper level. And it feels like reconnecting with your partner, like feeling good that it's like you can both bond over how stable you both are. But it's not like, oh my God, we have so much money, ha 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 ha. Like, no, it's more like, wow, babe, like we've worked so hard. We sacrificed and we said we were gonna do this, and now we're really seeing it pay off, right? Like this really is taking shape, it's taking hold, it's taking off, and I feel that that is what's kind of bonding you and your partner, is a common struggle that you have been dealing with, is like working itself out in some way, shape, or form. So that's really exciting, okay? All right, let's see what your advice card is here. We have believe in the impossible. So yes, I feel like your faith is really paying off. The faith that you've had, the belief that you've had in something or someone is really paying off. And I feel like, I mean, there's a like full moon on this card, so I feel like you're really seeing the results, and that's really exciting. So I love that for Libra. It looks like it's going to be a very good week for you on all fronts, okay? So congratulations. All right, so Scorpio. All right, so Scorpio, your overall energy for the week, we've got the Daughter of Cups, which I really like. I feel like Scorpio, you're bringing some fresh energy to the table, and I really like it. I think it's good for you. I think that you maybe have recently come to, or are going to be coming to with the full moon, some very important conclusions about your life. And it's not really about your tangible physical life. It's more about your emotional well-being. Like, you maybe have recently done some like really deep healing work. Maybe you've been studying astrology and you've come to some really core understanding about yourself that really helps you to understand who you are and why you are the way that you are and why you act or feel the way you do. And it's kind of giving you this new like appreciation for yourself of going, oh, hey, I'm not crazy. I just have this thing in my birth chart, and this is why I act the way I do, or this is why this shows up in my life. And it feels like instead of judging yourself, you're kind of more curious, like, okay, let's see, now that I have this awareness, let's see, how my life is different, okay? So it feels like you've kind of like learned a little key about yourself, or that's what's being illuminated to you, is you're learning a little something about yourself that makes you appreciate yourself more and love yourself more. And because you appreciate and love yourself more, it's making you kind of relax or calm down or not be so maybe like uptight is the word I want to use, but like that's not really the word I want to use either. It just feels like you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's just who I am, right? And kind of having that like acceptance of it and not feeling like, maybe you've been diving deep into it and maybe you get a reading from an astrologer or a tarot reader and they say something that just like really resonates with you and you go, you know what? That's right. And it's like good perspective for you to have, and it helps you to be kinder to yourself. So that's really exciting. So I feel that this full moon is going to bring you some good illuminations about yourself that are going to help you to move forward in a more positive way and have a more positive view about yourself. So I really, really, really like this. Again, it's kind of like Libra, where it may not necessarily be a tangible abundance, but it's like emotional abundance in the best way possible that really like soothes your soul is what I'm feeling. So yeah, look at that Temperance card in your relationship. So you might get some sort of clarity or understanding about a couple of things. So for one, and this is going to be for a very specific Scorpio out there, is you might hear from an old relationship partner, and hearing from this partner, whereas maybe in the past you'd be like, ha 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 ha, I knew they wanted me back, I knew they missed me. It's kind of more of like, wow. It's kind of more like, wow, I've grown so much, or I've come so far, or, I really was a good partner to that person. And now this person's finally recognizing that, and it feels good. But it's not like you're, it doesn't feel like you're like doing the Scorpio sting, like, haha, you can't have me back, or I knew you wanted me. Nah, it's more of like, thank you for saying that. Thank you for that apology. Thank you for that clarity. Thank you for that, because now I can really heal. That's what it feels. It feels like now I can heal. Now I can really let this go. Now I can really move on and know that the way that I cared about that person, or the way that I loved that person, or how I felt about that person, that it wasn't for nothing, that it wasn't, it wasn't just in vain, right? That they did see me, and that it did impact them. And it does feel, for some Scorpios, you and this person will be able to heal and mend that relationship, but that's going to be for like a very specific Scorpio watching this, okay? It's not going to be for everyone. I don't want everyone to think like, hey, I'm going to reconcile with my ex. No. But it does feel that you get some sort of insight that really hits home and really allows you to do some deep healing here, okay? If it's not a person coming back, you might be doing this healing on your own. You might get some clarity and some illumination on a past relationship that really helps you to heal, because you could have been kind of what I would say doing like a dumpster dive or down a black hole or a rabbit hole, trying to understand and trying to figure something out about your love life. And now it's like you can come out of that, because I feel like you're going to get the clarity or the insight that you need to heal and really, really move on in a very genuine way. Not like the moving on, like, oh, I don't care anymore. It's like a very genuine, like, yeah, okay. Glad that I understand that now. That makes sense. I accept that. I can move on from that and heal from that. So it feels really, really good. Now, for other Scorpios, this could be a Sagittarius person, and this is the first. I've had other signs here in my readings, but this is the first one that feels like an actual person. So it could be a Sagittarius person. It doesn't have to be. I'm not crazy about Scorpio and Sagittarius together, but it feels like someone who comes in and kind of helps to heal your heart. So this could be a new relationship that comes in that helps you to understand why things never worked out with anyone else, okay? Why things didn't work out with a particular person. And it feels highly, highly healing for you. So I really like this week all around, regardless of which interpretation works for you. So let's see what your advice card is. We have, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So yeah, I think either you get an insight or understanding or clarity, or an actual person, maybe in the form of a Sagittarius person or someone that has Sagittarius energy, coming back into your life that helps you to understand something, because perhaps you've been seeing something from just your point of view. You know, you've been seeing something from just your perspective, or seeing something through the lens of your own emotions, and someone may come in and go, but this whole thing, but did you not realize this? Did you not see what was going on? Did you not see that I cared about you? Did you not see that I loved you? And it kind of just opens your perspective, and it may make you go, oh, wow. So, yeah, be ready for that. Be prepared for that. That feels really good. Okay, so good luck, Scorpio. I hope that this message helps you. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what your overall energy is for the week. We've got the Magician card. So it looks like you are revved up and ready to move on something. And what this card is telling me, Sagittarius, is that you can do or have whatever you want. The ball is in your court. Things can be as big or as small as you want them to be, as simple or as elaborate, whatever you want. Okay, so you got to know what you want. You have to know what your dream is, right? You have to know what your dream is. And if you've kind of been floating and not really knowing exactly where you want to shoot your arrow, you might get clarity about that this week, about where you want to shoot your shot. Maybe you've been kind of testing the waters and seeing the different paths and seeing the different options, but it feels like now you've really pinned it down and now you know what you want. And so that is quite exciting. Okay, so let's see what happens in your love life. We have the 7 of coins here, so you definitely could have multiple love interests, Sagittarius, and maybe they're all great people. Maybe they all have pros and cons, and maybe you've been weighing them out. But if you are wanting to pick a path here, I do feel like I said, the ball is in your court, right? The ball is in your court. Whatever you want to do, you can do. You can make happen. So you are in complete control of your life, and it feels like you have kind of worked yourself into that position. It feels like you've fostered good relationships, and you can now sort of, you have the pick of the litter, essentially, is what it feels like, because you've put in the work to develop those relationships. So good on you. All right. So let's see what your advice card is. Yeah, your hard work is paying off. Yeah. So this definitely doesn't have to be with just romantic relationships. It also could be business partnerships and contacts too. Because it feels like you have choices. It feels like you want to manifest something. You want to create something, and you have different opportunities to do that. But the only reason why you have these opportunities is because you've been putting yourself out there and, you know, nurturing different connections and relationships and finding different opportunities. And now you can really narrow down in on the best one for you. So that is amazing. Okay. So best of luck to you. It definitely looks like this is going to be a great week. Okay. So Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn, your overall energy for the week, we've got the 10 of Wands here. So it feels like a really great chapter of your life has ended, or is ending. And you have gotten everything out of this scenario, or everything out of the situation that you've needed. And it's time for you to pack up and move on. Okay? So something could be ending that you really enjoyed, that you really liked. Like with this being the Wands card, it's like you could be, you know, walking away from a business that you really enjoyed, or leaving a job that you really enjoyed, or leaving a career that you really enjoyed, or maybe you've been a stay-at-home mom, and now your kids are going off to college, and it's been a pleasure and it's been a joy to raise them, but now it's time, it's just naturally time for something new to happen. That's what I feel here. It just feels like it's naturally time for something to happen. It's has nothing to do with like whether or not that was a good or a bad thing to do. It's not that. Like, I don't want you to assign meaning to whatever is ending in your life. it just was, right? It just was. It existed and it happened because it just did, right? It was a part of the story, a part of your destiny, a part of the plan, right? But now it's time to move on from it and to really let it go. And it feels that you're ready, but it also feels that it's bittersweet too. It's bittersweet. It's like kind of like going home from vacation is what I feel. It's like, oh, that was good. That was good. I needed that. But it's time to get back. That's what I feel. It feels like it's time for you to get back. It's time for you to get back on the horse. It's time for you to get back on your grind. It's time for you to get back on the saddle. You know, it's time for you to get back to whatever it is that you know you need to do. Okay? It's like vacation is over. Vacation is over and it's time to get moving. And whatever you're moving towards, it definitely feels like it's a step up from where you've been. So though something in your life maybe is ending that you really liked and enjoyed and had fun, it's time for you to go to the next level, because that next level is going to give you what you really want, right? But what worked in the level you're leaving is not necessarily going to work at the next level, right? So there is going to be a bit of a challenge. So do anticipate that there may be a learning curve, or do anticipate that there may be some bumps or some struggles or some challenges. That's natural being a Capricorn, right? There's always going to be some type of bump or challenge with Saturn ruling you. But do know that getting through those bumps and challenges and struggles and challenges is going to have massive payoffs and massive rewards. And staying where you are, though it may be comfortable, though it may be familiar, though it may be stable, is actually hindering you from growth and hindering you from development. So it would be very wise for you to leave behind whatever this chapter is and to step into this new chapter, which may be, you know, slightly unstable or slightly unpredictable or slightly insecure, but it's going to bring about a lot of new learning for you. That's going to be very positive. Okay, let's look at your love life. We've got the 5 of Swords here. So it feels like the change that you're making or whatever you're doing, it is going to be in direct conflict with your relationships. Okay, so you might be changing your career or changing your job or starting a business or doing something new that is good for you, that's beneficial for you and benefits you, but it may not necessarily benefit other people. So if you're leaving a job, then it may be the best decision for you, but it may not be the best thing for your employer, right? So don't feel guilty about that, right? That's what they signed up for. People come and go, right? So don't feel bad about leaving a scenario to do what's best for you, okay? It may cause conflict with your spouse, or it may just be different for you and your spouse. You know, maybe you're used to being the breadwinner. You're used to bringing home the money, right? Bringing home the bacon. And maybe now that responsibility is falling on your partner. And that may be a little bit of a change, but I think it's more of a change and a struggle and a conflict for you because you may be very used to taking care of yourself. So if you're leaving your workplace to maybe be a stay-at-home mom, well, that may cause a little bit of tension and strain and challenge if you're used to making your own money, right? So that is very possible, and that's what I see here. Or maybe you're used to taking care of a specific person. Maybe you're used to, like, maybe it's the other way. Maybe you've been a stay-at-home mom and now you're going to be, working or going to school. And it's going to be challenging for your children to not have you and to not always have access to you, not always, for you to not always be there because you may have other priorities. Or with your family, maybe you're not always able to be there for your family. So I do see that coming up as a potential, conflict or challenge to work through. But ultimately, Capricorn, it feels like you need to do what's best for you. Okay, let's see what your advice card is. We have a time for healing. So yeah, it feels like you doing what's best for you is actually going to be very healing. Okay. And even though when we think of healing, we maybe think about, like, sitting down in meditation and yoga, or, doing some sort of spiritual ceremony when we think about healing. But sometimes healing is getting up and going to the gym, right? And that makes a lot of sense for Capricorn, right? You're going to feel best when you're in action, when you're busy, when you're in motion and you're doing something and you're making progress or building something, right? So it might be very healing or therapeutic for Capricorns to get back out into the workforce, or to develop stability in their home, or develop stability in their business. Like, I feel this as more like an active form of healing, not necessarily just like resting and sitting in bed and not doing anything. Okay. So that is what I am feeling for you, Capricorn. So I hope that has helped you. Okay, now let's read for Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, your overall energy, we've got the 10 of Cups. So this is very, very beautiful. This is very, very beautiful. It feels like, this full moon is happening in your sign. So I feel like you're getting illumination about what you really want. And that maybe has been a little bit unclear. Maybe that's been a little bit unclear about what you really want. And maybe that's caused you to make some decisions, or to get caught up in things, or align yourself with things that don't really give you that feeling that you're looking for. And maybe that's made you feel kind of down, right? Kind of down and kind of pessimistic. But it feels like you're getting clarity on what it is that you really want. And once you have that, once you know that, and you take action on that, now you know you're going to be happy. So if you're an Aquarius watching this and you haven't been happy, well, I feel like you're going to find out exactly what you need to do to be happy. And that clarity is going to, it feels like, open new doors for you, or kind of just like renew your passion for life. And I really like this. So I do see, like I said, definitely watch the beginning, because that's really going to apply for you. But for example, I feel like if you've been an Aquarius, and let's say you've been in a job for a long time and you thought that job was going to make you happy and you were kind of banking on it and riding on it, you might get clarity on, no, this is really your passion. This thing is really what you should be doing. And it makes it very easy to then go, okay, I'm going to cut this job out and I'm going to go do that thing that I love. So I really, really, really like this. And I feel like it's giving you just kind of like new energy. Let's look at your love life here. We have the King of Wands here. So you could be connecting with a fire sign, an Aries person, a Leo person, or a Sagittarius person, or someone who has their sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign in Aries, or someone who just has a lot of like fiery and passionate energy. And it feels like this person is encouraging you or inspiring you to really pursue what your heart wants and to pursue your heart's desires. So it feels like you're meeting a really good person this week, or this could be a business partner who is really helping you to succeed. So yeah, don't, if you meet someone who is very passionate and fiery, don't miss out on that. Don't miss out on that. Don't lose that. Like, that person was divinely guided to your life to help you, to really help you to make this jump or this leap or this transition. Okay, so you have like divine help coming in for you. Okay, let's see what your card is. Yeah, we have luck is on your side. So it definitely could be a Sagittarius person, okay, who, yeah, I feel like what this person is bringing to you is like a fresh perspective, because it feels like you've just been seeing things one way, right? You are a fixed sign, so you can kind of get fixated on seeing things one way, and it looks like this very dynamic fire sign comes in and goes, hey, look at it this way, right? Why don't you look at it this way? Look at all these opportunities, right? Look at how positive this can be, right? Someone comes in and they're like totally hyping you up, and they're telling you how great you are, and they're telling you how amazing you are, and how they really love what your ideas and what you're doing and your energy and your vibe, and they just bring this like fire and sun into your life. Don't sleep on that person. Don't sleep on that person. Don't write that person off. Don't think they're crazy. Don't think that they don't know what they're talking about, right? Like, this person is coming to help you. Okay, so it definitely feels very benefic, and the sign of luck, Jupiter, right, which actually does rule Sagittarius, is going into your sign. So I do feel with Saturn in your sign, the universe is trying to get you to get clearer about what it is that you want, and to start taking real, actual steps to creating that life for yourself. But then with this Jupiter influence going retrograde into your sign, it's also bringing you this huge burst of luck and joy. So yeah, this is literally a blessing coming into your life. So don't lose it, right? Don't lose it. Okay? So I hope that this message helps you. Finally, last but not least, we've got Pisces. Okay? So Pisces, your overall energy for this week, we've got the Death card. So Scorpio energy here. Yeah, definitely a huge transformation taking place in your life, okay, for the better, for the best. This could have already happened. It could have been happening, but it does feel like this week you're really seeing the results, right? So it feels like you've made some choice or some decision in your life, and you've gone, okay, you know what? This year, I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to achieve this. And in order to do that, here's what I've got to give up. And maybe it wasn't something that you could just give up overnight, but it feels like you've made some good progress, and you're seeing how far you've come. So the new thing maybe hasn't quite developed yet, but you're definitely not where you used to be. And that's the exciting part about this week. So, like I've been saying for a lot of signs, it's not necessarily that you have this like physical experience or this tangible evidence that something's changing in your life. It's way more emotional and spiritual. And I think it makes you feel good knowing that you've been slowly but surely kicking this habit or this person or this thing out of your life. So this feels really good. It feels like you're ready. You know, you're ready for this and you're ready to let go. And yeah, it feels like you're ready to let go. So yeah, it feels like, okay, if your letting go journey was a bell curve like this, right? It feels like you're here. You're at the top, you're at the peak, and now you're ready to really release and go on to the other side now. So, incredible. Okay? Let's see what your love card is. We have the 6 of coins here. So I see balance occurring in your love life. Okay? So if you've had a partner who maybe has been like needing more of you, I feel like now you're able to kind of find this middle place between you and your energies, okay? Because it feels like you've been very involved in whatever this death process is, whatever this transformation is that's been occurring in your life. It feels like it's been top of mind for a while. And now it feels like it's losing its priority, like it's less of a priority. It feels to me that you've kind of had this belief is if I'm not thinking about this thing, whatever this death represents for you, if I'm not thinking about this thing, if I'm not engaged in it, then it's not happening. And you're realizing that's not true. Just because you're not constantly thinking about something doesn't mean that you're not making progress. And I think coming to that understanding, it's like really freeing you up. Like it's freeing you up and going, okay, I don't have to constantly worry or obsess or wonder about this thing or this person or this decision or what happened to me. I can surrender and I can release and I can let go. And progress is still being made. And I feel like you deprioritizing whatever this is, it's making more room. It's giving you more capacity to love, right? It's giving you more capacity to love. Your mind is no longer so occupied on what was, and it's more focused on what's going to be. So in like the Phoenix journey, you know, I think the hardest part of the Phoenix is to like let itself burn. But I feel like the Phoenix has realized, once I burn, I can start to rebuild myself. And I feel like Pisces, you're realizing that if things in your life are difficult or challenging or not working or scary, that you need to just let go, right? You need to just let go and just let whatever is gonna happen, right? Like you thinking about it is not going to make it happen. You just have to let it happen, right? You have to detach yourself. You have to let go. You have to to free yourself. And whatever comes of that experience comes of that experience. But the quicker that you let go, the quicker you're going to see, right? So I'll leave you with this. I watched a video today from Kara and Nate, which is one of my like favorite YouTube channels of all time. And they went like bungee jumping and skydiving and canyon swinging or something like that. And the scariest part of all of those experiences, if you yourself have been skydiving or like zip lining or something like that, the scariest part of that is when you're like on the platform, like when you're on the platform and it's like, oh my God, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why did I sign up? Why did I put myself in this scenario? Why did I put myself in this predicament? And you try to think of all the ways you can get out of it and how you can like back out. And you realize sometimes there's no backing out. And it feels with this, there's no backing out. It's like you've gotten this far, you've got to just keep going. You've got to jump now. And when you jump, you're going to feel so free, right? You're going to feel so free. You're going to see that the things you were thinking are not even reality, right? You can only really know how something's going to go or how it's going to feel if you just do it. And even if you did crash and burn, even if you did, your cable broke, right? Even if you did fall flat on your face, it's better to just get that over with, to get that experience over with. So that way you can move on, you can grow, you can heal from it. But if it does work out, then, which most of the time it does, right? Most of the time when people go skydiving or bungee jumping or zip lining, people are normally ecstatic. They're like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever done. And I can't believe I was so scared and I want to do it again, right? I feel like that's where you're at. It's like you could jump and dive into this, whether this is a relationship or a business or an experience where you could be thinking so negatively and so like pessimistically about it. And it's literally because you're scared. Okay. But you could just jump and maybe it works out beautifully. And maybe you and your partner are so beautifully in sync and so beautifully in line with each other that it makes you think, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I jump sooner? Why didn't I free myself sooner? So I definitely feel that for you, okay? And it feels like the opportunity is there. So let's see what your advice card is. Yeah, the answers you need are coming. And the answers are coming by taking action. It's not by watching a bunch of tarot readings. It's not by, just thinking about it all day and speculating. It's by actually taking the leap, taking the jump. And that's how you're going to know if this is going to work or not, right? It's just by doing it. And it's better to know than to sit there and wonder and think and wonder, right? Just take action. Okay? All right, those are my messages for all 12 signs for the week. So I hope that everyone enjoyed that. I hope everyone got a little bit of clarity that they needed. Okay, so if you want to work together in a private session, then the link for my website is down below. And there are still spots available in my Deep Healing Healed Girl Summer webinar. So do be sure to check that out as well. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.